Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. On this week's show, we've got a wild goose chase, but with sneakers, the latest in the Nike StockX saga, golfers getting all worked up about, is this right? Balls? This week's hottest releases, and of course, our Hard Pass. All right, let's kick things off with our hot takes. Hey, you know how there's a certain segment of the sneaker community that wants to go back to the days of first come, first served? Yeah, I bet this isn't what they had in mind, or maybe it was. That was for the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 release. The skate shop in question apparently thought throwing tickets to the people outside would result in everybody lining up in an orderly fashion. Yeah, they thought wrong. Or did they? See, Conspiracy Jock thinks that this was an elaborate attempt by the skate shop to get attention and drive people to their shop after this madness was over. Well, mission accomplished, skate shop, who we're not naming. Let's be honest, it's not that hard to actually figure out where this is, but if you're the type to want this kind of chaos, more power to you, I guess. Let's see. So, these fours were, let me do the math here, $225. Plus taxes, that's around $240 to $245, depending on what state you live in. If you sell those on a reseller platform online, you might get $350, but after fees, that nets you around $310? Hope that $60 come up was worth all that smoke. And if first come, first serve isn't in your bag, maybe you can try going on a scavenger hunt? This was for the release of the Cortez Nike Air Max 95 in the pink beam colorway. Turns out those mysterious coordinates were for a bodega turned pop-up shop. Man, if only the Sacramento Kings colors were pink, that would have made this launch even crazier. Turns out the two things, if you want Gen Zers to get off their asses, you need to make them chase after hype sneaker releases or college gymnasts who are big on TikTok. One is way creepier than the other, and I'll let you guys figure out which one that is. Salomon is celebrating the 10th anniversary of their popular to everybody else but me XT6 runner with a special colorway that drops in March. Actually, you know what? We're going to talk about this a little later. For real this time. I'm serious. I'll just hold on for that. We're going to talk about it. All right. Here's our first look at the Jordan MVP 678, the next Team Jordan everyone is basically going to be dunking on whenever they drop. But if we're being real, if you take out the Jumpman and give them a Fragment or Travis Scott or Fragment and Travis Scott cosign, they would actually probably still be dunked on. Look, I tried, Team Jordan fans. I did. Don't let internet strangers ruin your enjoyment of these. If you actually like them, don't even worry about what we say. Mischief, they're back on their shit, and that's honestly a compliment. After the big red boots went so viral that even the WWE jumped on the bandwagon before it went stale, they are dropping a sneaker collab called the BWD. And hold on, you can wear them forwards and backwards. It's a sneaker, it's a sandal. You can wear one forward and one backwards. Damn it, those brilliant bastards did it again. Look, I think it's brilliant. What do you guys think? Breaking news, the greatest dunks of all time are returning on March 28th. More on that in the Heat Check segment. Joe Freshgood's latest New Balance collab is here, and he's got two colorways of the 610 on the way, along with the Rainer boot. Definitely nailing the outdoor run on the trail vibes with these. Good job, Joe. I'll admit to being unfamiliar with the 610 until literally right now when I saw this on my phone, but now that this collab is surely going to breathe some energy to it, I'd suggest going to a New Balance store right now and looking at the non-trail vibe colorways they've got in stock. Yeah, see? It's a strategic plan, everybody. They're playing us all. Shout out to Nicole McLaughlin and her upcoming collab with Vans. It's a slip-on with pockets on the toes of the shoes so you can show everybody where you're hiding your stash. Wait. Oh, actually, it's not for that. It's actually for tools because Nicole is big into upcycling and functionality. I get it. See, every other sneaker collab with pockets always joke that that's where you hide things that the olds frown upon. Maybe we'll just say it that way. This week, I learned that there's a term for hype beasts who like to dress up like regular ass soccer fans, and that's blokecore. The fit is a soccer jersey, jeans, and Adidas Sambas. So Trae Young here, not blokecore. LeBron, not blokecore. And even if he had jeans on, contractually, he can't wear Sambas. Steve Nash loves soccer, but he has the same entanglement as LeBron. James Harden literally owns a soccer team, so he's our best bet. Just don't let him actually, do the soccer stuff. Looks like we've got a new color or new theme we've got to learn in the Jordan retro world. It's called Palomino, and it's coming to the Air Jordan 1 and the Air Jordan 3. So to help you along, here's a primer according to Wikipedia. Palomino is a genetic color in horses consisting of a gold coat and white mane and tail. The degree of whiteness can vary from bright white to yellow. Genetically, the Palomino color is created by a single allele of a dilution gene called the cream gene working on a chestnut-based coat. Due to their distinct color, Palominos stand out in the show ring and are much sought after as parade horses. I have no idea what I just said, so if someone wants to explain what I'm talking about in the comments, help us all. Shazam Fury of the Gods had a terrible opening weekend, bringing in a mere $30 million. Now, this shouldn't bother you if you like the movie, but whatever. The biggest drama wasn't even on screen, but rather off it, as the star of the movie, Zachary Levi, is laying blame on two of the biggest scapegoats in the comic book movie world, Zack Snyder fans and The Rock. First, Levi is agreeing with the sentiment that Snyder fans want all DCEU films to fail after their beloved director of mediocre films like Batman vs. Superman and the 10-hour version of the Justice League were ousted. Then he reposted an IG story that confirms reports that The Rock did not want his Black Adam messing with his canonical comic book frenemy Shazam, probably something about hierarchy of power and whatnot. Anyways, my thought is go watch Shazam, or not. It's not going to count anymore since James Gunn is going to reboot the whole thing to the tune of hair metal power ballads anyway. I vote for extremes more than words if Gunn is actually taking suggestions, by the way. So, we're at the halfway point of the show, so I thought I'd do the same thing Country Roll did and show you a picture of the best boy, Ein. Aww, he really is the best. Even in the live-action Netflix show that was kind of mid. The Oregon Ducks have a new player exclusive on the way, and it's a It's the Dunks? Didn't know it was still 2022. Yes, I know that was kind of mean, especially since these are a Tinker Hatfield creation. But man, wouldn't it be nice if Nike was a little ahead of the curve? Sorry, there I go again. Anyway, the Nike Ja 1's almost here, and Ja Morant is back, which I did not expect him to get right this fast. Okay, with him being back, let's just hope that the time away did him good because, man, they are going to be out to get him. And yes, I mean they in the DJ Khaled sense for sure. All right. It's time for the Heat Check, where we bring you everything that's dropping this week. We have the Dunk Low Pandas, aka the greatest dunks of all time. It's a restock on the 28th for $110. The Nike Air Max 90 Golf, always fresh, on the 29th for $170. The Off-White Nike Air Force 1 Mid Pine Green on the 30th for $170. The New Balance 990 made in the USA on the 30th for $190. The New Balance 9060 Multicolor on the 30th for $150. The Nike Air Foamposite 1 Dreamer World on March 31st for $225. The Jeff Staple Puma Suede on the 31st for $100. The Reebok Pump Twilight Zone on the 31st for $180. The Nike Ja 1 Day 1 on the 1st for $110. The Nike Zoom GT Cut 2 in Pearl Pink on the 1st for $170. The Under Armour Curry 2 Floetro Chef Curry, the updated version, that's on the 1st. The Nike Zoom Vomero 5 in Varsity Mabe, that's on the 1st for $160. The Miramiko Adidas Ultra Boost 1.0, that's $210. And the Miramiko Adidas Superstar, that's $105. And then the Air Jordan 11 Low Cement Gray on April 1st for $190. And then, for our pick of the week, is the Salomon XT6 10 years. This is on the 28th on Salomon's online store. That's right. We are highlighting Salomon's most well-known silhouette as it celebrates its 10th anniversary with the fire red colorway. And look, it's not an all red joint as you can see, but if this was 2013, you can bet that not only would it be all red, it would have gold accents, some faux croc and or snakeskin, an ancient Egyptian symbol that nobody really understands, and a secret release procedure like on a Sunday morning during church so only the heathens could buy it. What? I'm not projecting at all. No, I don't understand what happened there. Anyway, wrestling. Wrestling legend Jake the Snake Roberts claims that the elite trio of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are better than the Bloodline featuring Roman Reigns and the Usos. Not gonna lie, that's a trio match that I would love to see in the future. But where Jake misses me is what does he mean by better? Like, who's a better promo? I mean, Roman's got that on lock. Who can put on a classic match on zero notice? Nobody's better than Kenny. Better twin tag team? The Bucks are masters of the flippy style, but the Usos, they're no slouches either. The reality is that both groups are really great at what they do, but they're like competing sneaker brands. One brand does one style amazing while the other does another dope style amazing. It's all about what your taste is and what you're looking for. But I will say this, if someone were to ask us here on the show who's got the edge at the moment, Jey Uso has done such a phenomenal job in separating himself from his brother Jimmy in a way that we haven't seen since Rick and Scott Steiner. And now for the other side of the spectrum. There's a lot of controversy right now in the golf world as the USGA and the R&A, basically the governing bodies of the US and British Open, are considering placing limits on the length that golf balls can travel, reducing the average distance by 14 to 15 yards off a drive, according to some reports. If these changes are passed, it looks like the two majors will be the most significant tournaments affected by it. While players like Bryson DeChambeau are against it, which would automatically make me for the change, Justin Thomas and John Ram have also expressed their frustration with the potential shift. But then Rory McIlroy has said he is for the changes, saying that technology and innovation have outpaced golf courses. And now I'm conflicted all over again. You know, I guess my support will ultimately come down to what it always comes down to. Whatever side Patrick Reed is on, I'm going the other way. Of course, not like this affects us normies because it's only for the pros who play in the majors, so we can watch them suffer in the open. The Off-White Futura Dunks will be offered via a Sotheby's auction. 8 pairs in total will be available, and the bids will start at $1 beginning on April 5th through the 14th. If anybody wants to start a secret Discord group so we can pool our money and buy these, let me know. Where did I get that idea? Well, apparently, there was this online golf group that bought a Scottish Links course for less than $1 million with over 5,000 members. If they all chipped in evenly, it only cost each member about $170. So what I'm getting at is, if we have a 5,000 member Discord, we all chip in, what, maybe less than $1? Don't ask me how we're all going to share the shoe. I haven't thought that far ahead yet, but, you know, I'm a big idea man. You guys work out the details. Tony continues to lie to us about it never raining in Southern California. Yeah, right. Climate change got us dealing with the rain in the middle of March, and now we got soaking wet deliveries of white cement threes. Now, I don't know where this person actually lives. This was just an opportunity for me to complain about all the rain that we're getting here in LA. Next story. A reseller bought a lot of Jordan Retros from StockX with hopes of flipping them in the future. Turns out that 38 of those pairs, all of which were verified by StockX, were fake. This was according to @SockJig, who spoke with the reseller. The shoes also, they weren't just your run-of-the-mill fakes either, as they were a high enough quality that it could pass a StockX check. You know, it seems to me like everybody is stepping their game up except for the peoples whose business is dependent on catching these fakes, or else they will lose the faith and goodwill that they've earned. Oh, sorry, it's not like this is 2016 when they actually had faith and goodwill in those platforms. Or do we still have faith and goodwill in those platforms? I don't know. Ronnie Feig is generating a lot of buzz for his collaborative sneaker. This time it's an Adidas Samba with a suede upper, a crepe midsole, and outsole that is also used on Clark's Wallabies. I gotta say, great job by Ronnie for once again breathing life into a silhouette that is already kind of well known, especially if you're into the bloke core world. It's the type of collab that you didn't know that you wanted. Now, my next request is that you give us Nike Flyknit racers with Primeknit and Boost, or an Ultra Boost with Flyknit and Air Bubbles. And this is the way we achieve world peace, Ronnie. We're waiting on you. A new Sacai Nike waffle sneaker is on the way, and it's got the signature features of double everything, but this time the upper has been given a woven makeover in white and multicolor. As someone who hasn't gotten tired of the Sacai's yet, I'm very optimistic for the new edition of this popular collab. And before we get into the hard pass, a special shout out to who else but PJ Tucker, who after receiving the Nigel Sylvester Bike Air Nike Airship is now in possession of the social status Nike Mac Attack collab. And it's got tearaway elements on the swoosh and collar to reveal a fuzzy finish, possibly resembling the surface of a tennis court or a tennis ball. Now I would know because apparently I'm not cool enough to get these sneakers, which I take umbrance with. Anyway, let's move on to this week's hard pass. And this is where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go. Like the disappointment of Michael Jordan fans after learning that the upcoming Ben Affleck directed film Air would only feature Jordan briefly. But first, let's talk about our boy Ben as he continues to be a living meme. Here he is signing Team Jordans during the premiere of the movie. Like, you can see the joy being sucked from out of his soul as he signs Team J's. Like, if we gave him the MVP 678, do you think he'd actually notice? If we're gonna be real though, retros are for icons, like his wife Jenny from The Block. So back to the movie. Affleck and best friend and Air co-star Matt Damon were on the Bill Simmons podcast to talk about, well, Boston, because of course that's what 80% of the conversation was going to be when you get three Boston guys on a podcast. But when they finally got around to talking about the actual movie, Affleck did talk about Michael Jordan's involvement in the movie, which was zero. It's easy to see why people would look at a movie about Nike called Air set in the 1980s and assume Michael Jordan is in it. And while Air is a movie about Michael Jordan, it's more about the people around his orbit and the role they played in the beginning stages of his ascension. It's like WWE making a movie called The Bloodline, but the main focus was on Paul Heyman, or Capcom remaking Resident Evil 4, and instead of playing Leon, you're the merchant. And actually, that's like a good idea. Hold on, I'm gonna write that down in my notes app. Sorry, hold on. Pitch that for something later. Anyways, Affleck didn't want to do this movie without Jordan's blessing. So he talked to MJ and got tidbits about Howard White, aka H, who's played by Chris Tucker, and Dolores Jordan, who's played by Viola Davis. Jordan actually requested Davis play his mom, and Affleck had to rewrite the script to give her a bigger role in the movie because, let's face it, how the hell are you going to get an icon like Viola Davis for just a cameo? So, yeah. As someone who has seen the movie, it's a small bummer that you don't get to see the GOAT in the movie. But really, the only person that can play MJ is MJ. As a consolation, we can't thank Jordan for increasing the black actor ratio in the movie, though, because without him, it's basically just Marlon Wayans and the dude who plays him that you only ever see the back of his head. So that's a bonus for me. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you guys for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. If you'd like to possibly be featured in a future episode, you know what you can do? You can call us. Call us at 818-493-9325. Leave a short message or social media if you want. No more than 30 seconds. And if you like what we're doing here, go ahead and subscribe. It helps the channel. We appreciate you. All right, we'll see you soon. Peace.